locked. We got Zach Bivens.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and not just Zach Bivens. We got Bivens versus Mark Miller, a mainstay here at SSG, a staple, someone who's been at the top tables numerous times here. This is going to be one hell of a barn burner, my friend.
Oh yeah, we got Mark at 4-2 and Zach at 4-1-1. So both these players fighting for survival here. 4-2 is going to be a tight squeeze, but if you're playing against Zach in the last round, that could mean his tiebreakers are just really, really good. So most likely this will determine who makes it in and who does not.
Yes, this is a win and in situation. And particularly Mark needs to be able to survive this fight to make it in. So this is a big deal for Mark. To your point about Zach, it could be questionable. So this has huge implications on each of these players' journey and to their journey as we make it towards the end of Swiss here, as we're slowly approaching that phase to see whether or not they'll be making into Top Cut.
Absolutely. And fan favorite Zach Bivens joining us in his nice Southside hoodie. Love to see that.
Yeah.
Obviously, for those who missed the announcement, Zach is part of the Southside Gaming team now. He is official. So very, very amazing acquisition and an amazing part of the team that I'm sure Southside Gaming is incredibly happy to have. And I know we are happy to have him here, hanging out with us here in South Florida. So thanks, Zach, for coming to hang with us. And let's see. He started the day a little rough. I saw him at the 0-1 table at the very beginning of the day. I was like, ooh, maybe not a great day for Zach, which does happen. But Zach bouncing back, as you would expect, and putting it all on the line here as we go into our last round of Swiss. And it's going to be a barn burner for sure.
Yeah, and we take a look at the top of the screen here. We can see the color combinations that they're both of them are playing. Zach is going to be on Amethyst Steel, which is a color combination that is not a strange one to see Zach on. Zach is known for being a bit of Zach has the ability to kind of be a chameleon a little bit, has a little bit of flexibility, a lot of flexibility when it comes to deck choices. And so we know there's like a wide wheelhouse, and this is certainly one of them, which is in Zach's favor. This allows Zach to kind of appear, even though he's known, even though he's somebody who's well respected in the community, there's still this element of surprise, like which deck will I see? Am I going to see that Steel? Am I going to see that Nala? Am I going to see what's the other card that he invented?
Gaston.
Yeah, Gaston. Or
definitely was not Wochuk. It was definitely
not
Zach
Wochuk,
who invented Nala.
I just want to call out now. Wochuk was not. That was not Nala.
It was not there.
Yeah, for sure.
He wasn't there when it happened.
No.
But yeah, Zach. Definitely, he's known for playing quite the surprise. He does have a couple different decks that he likes to go to. But Zach, I believe in interviews, he's been questioned about it, and he's always said that he likes the element of surprise. It's a big part of a tournament, I think, is, coming with something your opponent's not expecting. And Zach against Amber Steel here, and I don't think there's any card in Amber Steel that will surprise Zach.
No.
I mean, Zach knows this deck inside and out, and I wonder if that's going to be a detriment for Mark here, just knowing how familiar Zach is with Amber Steel and how the ins and outs work, what beats it, what doesn't, how do you win against it. And I think that's all very important information here as we go into our last round of Swiss.
Yeah, and we're taking a look at the hand that Zach has kind of opted to hold on to. At least that's the indication. Like, okay, now it's filtering through, and we see Mark has made some decisions here. We're sending back what I think was 3. It looked like 3 was being sent back on Mark's side.
I believe so, yeah.
Which is an interesting choice. So now Zach is the one kind of deciding. And we see that Calhoun being an option potentially.
Yep.
It's going to be 1.
He's just sending back 1 crab, or is he just keeping 1 crab?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think he's just sending back. The kind of hand looks pretty good. Oh my. Okay, he's just sending 1 back. Okay. Oh my God.
What? No.
What do I know about anything? My whole life is a lie.
Yeah, we just lied. The whole life, the whole thing.
I was like, okay, he's got 1 drops. He's got this. Okay. He says, I'm going to keep crab, pitch everything else.
He's so okay.
That's why he's Zach Bivens and I'm Mike Skinner in the booth.
And you're Skinner and I'm Gabe, and we're just here talking about him playing games.
It. I would have never known. I'd be curious to hear Zach's thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Clearly looking for specific cards in this matchup, right? I'm pretty sure, he's not just looking for a curve here. He's looking for cards that are going to really help him win this match. And I didn't see who's going first, so that could also potentially be a lot of the reason why Zach sent that back. He's
true.
Looking for Calhouns and stuff. Yeah, see, okay.
Yeah.
Makes a lot more sense now. I thought for a moment Zach was on the play, but yeah, if Zach is on the draw, definitely will be helpful to have some of these cards like Calhoun.
Mark with a big opener. Mark landed that Daisy duck, that duck that's constantly looking for that date. Donald is holding her up, and she gets mad. Every turn she gets mad, she gives another card to the top of the deck. to their opponent.
How many dollars do you think Donald had to spend at the machine to get that bear for
Oh,
Daisy?
you know he was cursing that machine up, but we couldn't understand him.
Or
Because
was it like the fair where you have to like throw the ball at the bottle and then you win a big prize?
Yeah. But so the thing is with Donald definitely hit the bottle, but the bottle's glued to the table, and so he's getting upset because he's realizing he's getting scammed. That's what it is.
So how did Daisy get the bear then?
He eventually gave $100+, and then they finally said, "Here's the thing."
He slid 100 under the table.
Yeah,
and
he's
said,
like, "Just give me the bear, dude. Just hand me the bear."
I like to think about these things. Sometimes when I look at the art and stuff, I'm like, what would this be like in a real world of fantasy? I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, I get you. If it was a real thing.
If it was a real thing, sure.
And we've got Chernobyls, we've got troubadours, and we've got all kinds of animals galore. Oh, look, and there's a human to join the party.
Calhoun coming to join, and obviously a very good card here against Daisy, considering that Calhoun plus anything could end her career.
Yeah.
So she's going a little hard to see what Mark's inking here, but ooh, Ariel, spectacular singer.
And we do see a song has appeared. It's hard. I guess we'll take a look and see. Zeus. It was Zeus. Zeus returning to the hand.
Which Troubadour can sing and will sing.
Yikes.
That's why do they allow singers?
That is so tough. That is so tough.
And then he gets to put the Zeus to the bottom.
Yep.
All right. I say I'm starting a petition, ban singer.
Ban sing. All of us.
Just that keyword, just ban it.
Here's the problem with that whole notion, though. Singers like the mechanic that makes Lorcana so different. So it's like
no. You could still sing songs, but you can't have singer text. Like you can't be a one drop that sings 10 cost cards like that.
Oh,
it's just get out of here.
I got a better idea, Skinner. How about you just get good and learn how to play against?
I could do that. You're right.
just get good.
That's not a bad idea. All right, so we go ahead and use that crab to our advantage, boost up, and swing into that troubadour, get him off the table, because that is definitely going to be one less thing here for Zach to worry about. As Mark in a pretty good spot here, as he's got Ariel in play, potentially could sing another Zeus. Does he have Zeus in hand?
I believe I see a world.
A whole new world. Okay, so we'll get a little Cobra action here.
Well, that's a trick though. It's a ploy.
Every Cobra until we go for a whole new world.
Every card that Zach draws is a trick. It's a play. If we sing this song, if we sing this beautiful song,
and that's what Mark's cracking his head about right now. He's like, okay,
yeah, like, is it time? Do we take this magic carpet ride? Or
I think so. Zach's got a lot of cards in hand. We don't have a lot of cards in hand. I think we just did we already ink? Yeah, we already inked for turn, right?
Oof, opting to play the Lawrence.
Oh, and then he wheels. Interesting. Okay.
I mean, so Lawrence is very high value. I can see why you'd want to choose that over risking not seeing something else.
Oh, and he gets himself a Cinderella here if he wants. Or yeah, that's pretty good.
Wow, that's Robin a great combo. Yeah,
Robin Hood, I think, is what he got. Yeah, Robin Hood. Okay. And Mark going to take a look through Zach's discard here and say, what did I hit? And it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot. A couple rabbits, Cobra. So not a bad hit there. And Zach's got a whole new 7 to work with here. And we're going to see if it's worth what it was worth. If it's worth the 7 new cards in hand. Let's see. It's
I mean, we're seeing some options here on Zach's side. Zach's probably not super upset about that wheel. The issue he's got is more with the board state right now. Can we do things to reduce those singers on board? Can we take out some of this, like, just lore generation that's happening on the table? Do we deal with Daisy? All these answers and more on the next episode of Zach Bivens versus Mark Miller.
Yeah, for sure. I like this attack here. We could even potentially Zeus a Daisy or something. Oh, we got Fox.
Foxy Brown.
That's even better. So we will Fox it up and say goodbye to Daisy.
This was a good turn. We got rid of the singer, a very big singer in Ariel. We got rid of Daisy Duck. So what we've got is Robin Hood. We've got Lawrence. The question becomes, do we have the shift Robin Hood? Do we have Robin Hood, Champion of Sherwood?
Yep. That's we have 7 new cards in hand, so I would imagine we most likely do have a shift in hand, and Zach, I'm sure, is thinking the same. So Zach's just figuring out which card he decides he wants to ink here before he sends it back over to Mark.
Yeah. And there's just so many choices. And yeah, we're choosing the Diablo to play a magic broom.
All right. right, and we pass her back. And another whole new world in the hand of Mark.
Crazy.
In addition to Storm Rage on, or rather, Raging Fire.
The Sherwood does make its way down. Using that Sherwood to get rid of that Fox. That Fox is a big problem. So, that's definitely a good play here. We're getting 2 lore for it. So it's not for nothing. We're getting a lot of value out of that challenge.
For sure. We've seen a lot of Robin Hoods today. Have you noticed that? A lot of Robin Hoods coming back into the meta, considering that we haven't seen Medusas as much. We were talking to JDZ earlier a little bit about that. But yeah, Robin Hood, just an absolute terror into a lot of these steel decks because it holds so much damage. And when you do finally get rid of it, it just replaces itself, which is just really, really good. And it protects the board a lot. It threatens to attack and take 2 lore away, or rather not 2 lore away, but gave you 2 lore every time. So Robin Hood, I know, was a staple for a long time. Kind of fell out of favor because of the meta, and it's as we can see, making its way back in. So lots of Robin Hoods today, and we're gonna get a little. Ooh, okay, that's an interesting one.
Choosing to use Strength of a Raging Fire to get rid of the Magic Room. I mean, in terms of value trading, that's not fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason why he did that, but yeah, interesting. Interesting that he valued. I mean, I really don't care if Zach's going to draw an extra card. You're about to wheel him anyway.
Yeah.
So it's a little interesting.
It is more
maybe
pressure.
He didn't want the crab. Maybe he was worried about the crab.
That's exactly what I was going to say. There's a number of things at play here. You're talking about Amethyst. Crab is probably the thing that Mark is thinking about here.
Yeah, he doesn't want to lose it to the crab. So hate to see him spend a resource like that on the broom, but you do what you got to do to get in the victory here.
You also have to think about the fact that the goal here is to continue to lapse your opponent in tempo, and while you might have overvalued something or you might lose out on quote unquote the value trade here, you're gaining in additional tempo, like a percentage you can't factor in for, because Bivens is having to work his way back from 0. And working your way back from 0, trying to reestablish your board while you're sitting with 2, 3, 4 characters on the board, that actually is a huge difference maker and does make doing a play like that make a little bit more sense.
For sure. And Zach able to recycle Pete here as he bounces it back with the Fox, gets a little trade in, and then replays the Pete to stop the actions from Mark. Pretty much predicting here that Mark most likely is looking to wheel. So essentially Mark has to just pass his turn. So Zach essentially... for my Magic people out there, just time walk, which means take an extra turn, because Mark not able to do anything else on his turn, and now Zach will get an opportunity to play Pete again.
Yep.
And this is just buying so much time here for Zach. Zach's just getting turns to kind of figure the board out. This is going to be 2 turns now that Mark kind of just has to hang out, and that's never a good thing.
No, and there's multiple whole new worlds sitting in hand, by the way. I'm seeing at least 2. That might, I don't think that's the third one. I think it's just 2. I can't tell what that third.
Well, he's already played 1. No, he's got. It looks like Grab Your Swords, but I don't know if it is Grab Your Swords.
Is this the event that brings Grab Your Swords back? Is that what we're learning today?
I mean, a lot of people are scared of Diablos and stuff, but I can't tell for sure if it's Grab Your Swords. I could be totally wrong. It is a daisy, though. That is for sure.
That is a daisy. Yep.
Yeah, it's a daisy and a doozy. As you go ahead, don't laugh at me, dude. We play this down and pass it back yet again. So yeah, Mark just understanding that he just really can't take advantage of the situation here because he cannot sing. So okay, we're gonna do a little singing.
Yep, certainly. We see. Oh! What are we grabbing? Is that a rabbit? Is that a rabbit I see?
Yeah, we do have rabbit.
We got a number. We've got
2 bogs and a Zeus. None of these cards can bounce, so Pete's games are over for the time being.
I mean, think about the value that Zach got from that. We were able to reestablish a board from nothing, from literal nothing. So you know what? I bet he wish he had that 1 turn earlier.
Yeah, that's tough.
All right, so we're inking out Chernobog in order to play a Zeus.
Yeah,
you have to.
I like it. Yeah, because now he's forcing either you have the Robin Hood shift line
again
to sing,
twice,
or you have to hard cast Whole New World, which that feels bad.
Yeah.
So great move here by Zach, just cleaning up that singer. Although there are still a lot of characters on board, none of these can sing Whole New World, and I think that's the most important thing right now. Zach's just trying to get a board out there before he eventually has 7 new cards in his hand.
And the question is Mark's hand bad enough to hard cast that Whole New World? Is it worth it to do it?
I don't know.
And then hope that you draw enough songs.
Oh, there's the Grab Your Sword. See,
okay. Oh, yeah. So yeah, it was Grab Your Sword.
So there you go. Grab your sword.
All right, folks, you heard it here first. Grab your sword is back. It's back, everybody.
Is it though? I mean,
It's back.
look what it did. I mean,
It's so back.
it took out a Smee, and then I don't know. It's definitely not a bad card. I mean, grab your sword does have its
Look,
uses, but
it allowed Daisy Duck to trade with Pete. Okay, so it created a mathematical situation.
it's a great card, but
Yeah.
it's just
You're looking for. Why are you so greedy? Why are you always looking for clean trades? Why can't we? Why can't you meet
back in
halfway?
my day
Oh,
when we used to play one ink 2/2s every turn.
Right.
All right, every opening turn. All right, grab your swords was essentially a one-sided. Be prepared.
Well, back in my day, I played an Aladdin that was 7 cost. Okay, and it stole lore from my opponent.
Don't get me started on that card. That plus Pocket Watch was one of my darkest days ever. It was bad.
Cauldron for the win, everybody. Cauldron for the win.
Oh my gosh. So Zach gets another Pete in hand, which that's got to be pretty good for him. He's just trying to figure out what to do with the rest of his turn here, right? Do we could Fox and draw a card, but then you know that the whole new world is coming, so you could potentially Fox and then Pete, maybe. But I don't know.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for Zach to be in. Mark is ahead on lore, choosing to get rid of the Daisy Duck, of course. Playing the turn, like just kind of setting up a board to put yourself in a good spot, or just trying to get characters down. A play like that, a Chernobog into a Fox, bouncing the Chernobog,
the Troubadour, maybe, and then Pete. Are we talking the Troubadour?
Oh, here we go. We got the Pete, so the Pete will slow down that potential whole new world.
No, he's trying to think. Okay, am I taking? I mean, between Cinderella and Pete, unless he's predicting a 7-drop Cinderella coming into shift, Troubadour seems like the clear choice. Yeah. I mean, obviously, he could get totally surprised here, and Sydney could shift.
Bruh. I'll stand up right now and I'll scream, bruh.
But no, it doesn't look like he has to worry about that right now.
Mark put that card down eerily close to that Cindy. I'm like, no, wait, is it? Could it be? It was not. It was
we
not.
got another strength. I always confuse the raging cards. Raging Fire and Storm Rage On. So we have a strength of a Raging Fire getting added to Mark's hand.
There's a lot of rage.
Yeah, I always confuse those two cards. And they're both in the deck, so it's like it doesn't help.
Yeah, they're great cards.
Yeah.
We're flipping through 2 cards. So notice Mark is flipping through 2 cards, just staring at them saying, do I play these? Are we in? Are we so down right now? Are we so in?
Yeah, a lot of draw go happening from Mark as this Pete's just real. You see the power of Pete here. I mean, he's just totally shutting down the game plan.
Yeah.
And he has another Fox in hand, so he could potentially Pete again. It's like 5 Petes. This Pete can sing this wow, this is
that's tough because if you just look at hand, we've got Friends, we've got Elsa, and Elsa's cool. If Elsa could tap that aerial and that Fox can come in and take it.
Singing.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So we're singing songs. We're singing Friends. There's the Elsa. Elsa will tap it.
Crash into Pete.
Pete will take it out nice and neat because Pete gets to survive in doing so. There's Calhoun. Oh, this board state just suddenly. Whoa!
He said,
"This
wheel me if you want. Wheel me if you want."
Yeah, I don't think you'll do it. You don't have the guts, but if you want to, I dare you.
Yeah, Mark's been staring at these whole new worlds for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, we're finally at a spot now where oh no,
we'll get 3 damage on something here.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, take advantage of that at least. I mean, that's a good card. Nothing wrong with that. That whole new world is sitting in hand like a brick. That thing is not doing.
Can you imagine if he had saved that Pete? Look, he has 2 more ways to bounce that Pete. That Pete would have been like a 10-turn Pete lock.
Yes,
essentially. So thankfully, Mark was able to get rid of that Pete and stop the shenanigans from happening. Because Zach, I mean, he got so much value out of that Pete. He was able to rebuild his whole table before Mark was even able to play a whole new world, which is still sitting in Mark's hand.
Yeah, well, at this point, playing it feels like it's at a detriment to Zach. Zach needs to figure out a way to get rid of that Gaston like that. Just like that thing that I said he needed to do.
That's a way.
He just did it because that Gaston makes that whole new world a good play. When you have to hard cast the whole new world, that makes it a bad play. Playing a whole new world fair is not what you want to do, and Zach knows that. As the person who is, some would argue a forefather of Steel songs. This is a person who knows the matchup very well.
Yep. Yeah, on the Mount Rushmore of Amber Steel, I definitely think Zach's head's up in stone there for sure. As I mentioned earlier, him just knowing the deck inside out is really helping him here because he knows exactly what Mark needs and what Mark wants. And just being able to stop that from happening is really, really helping him out. Look, I mean, we're tied up to 11-11 here.
Dude, just the catching up, like just slowly, little by little. Zach has gotten there's not been any huge tempo swings.
Mm-mm.
Zach has been doing this just moment
Piece
by
by
moment,
piece.
turn by turn, one character here, two characters there, and catching up. Every game, you win every game just by having a slightly better percentage in each of your turns than your opponent.
All
And
right.
that's what
And
Zach has
Mark,
shown us.
Mark finally said, all right, you know I've had it for 15 turns now. So here's 7 new cards. And yep, he sees that the double wheel's in hand. So he knows what's going on. All right. Zach will lose a fox, but gains 7 new cards. And unfortunately, Mark only has a few ink to work with here with his new 7.
Yep.
Let's see what he chooses here. Potentially another Ariel or a Gaston. What could it be playing? I see it here. I see Rapunzel in hand, but that's not going to help right now. Smee? Or excuse me, not Smee. Lawrence. What I meant to say.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
Lawrence is good. We like Lawrence here.
Yeah, Lawrence is a good one. Zach's got 7 cards. I'm curious to see what kind of craziness he's got going, and he's got a lot of ink now.
He does. I mean, he's been prepping for this. He's been able to play Pete's multiple times, knowing that a whole new world was coming. So he's had 3 or 4 turns in this game alone, purposely strategizing on how to best maximize your hand. And knowing that, generally speaking, when you think about Amethyst Steel, they don't need that much ink. They don't need it. But if you're expecting your hand to disappear anyway, and you're playing in ways that let you maximize that, it's no wonder how Zach got to this point when it came to the ink totals.
For sure, yeah. And Zach's got a lot of options here now, right? He's the only problem with having so many cards and so much ink is you got to make a lot of more choices. So that seems like a pretty simple one. Let's just stop the actions. So we'll start there and then see what we do with the rest of our turn here.
Oh, get some more
White
reach.
Rose, give us a little boosty. There you go.
And Smee. Okay, that locks this game up. I do believe.
Ooh.
15, 16, 17, 18. No.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's not fantastic.
Zach doing his best Steel Song impression here with a totally different deck. Wow, this
is nuts. A Strength of a Raging Fire here, a homing missile. Just a tactical nuke of a Strength of a Raging Fire.
It reminds me, there used to be a card back in the day. You ever play Hearthstone?
Yes.
Do you remember what warriors that they used to shield up, and they used to play a card called Shield Slam?
Yes, Shield Slam was
so good. So for those who didn't know, back in the day, by the way, Zach does pick up the game here, which is amazing because he looked like he was in a pretty bad spot, and he just clawed his way card by card, turn by turn, played it so well, locked Mark out of the game with so many turns of Pete, and just was able to turn the game around completely. So shout out to Zach. Amazing play. Just a masterclass here of keeping it cool and being able to turn the game around. But real quick, so there was a class named Warrior, for those of you who do not know World of Warcraft. And in the game, you could use an ability that would give you a shield, right? And shield was like bonus health. So you could like go past, let's say instead of being at 20 lore, you could go like to 50 lore or whatever it may be. And then there was a card that cost 1 ink, and it would deal damage equal to the amount of shield. And people would get up to like 100 shield and then just pay 1 ink and just absolutely blast something for 1 ink. And that's very much the feeling that I just got when Zach just played all his characters out, and that was just like boom, boom, boom.
Do me a favor, move over.
No, dude,
get
come on, man.
Move,
dude,
move it. Listen, when I'm on that side, okay. And don't you dare click that power button.
That's you. When you're on this side,
don't you dare click that power button.
I'll do it. Don't tell me what to do, bro. I'll hit this button right now.
Don't you dare.
I'll shut this whole operation down.
You better not. Stefan will come in here and kill you.
I'll shut this whole thing down. I'll turn all the power off. I'll pull the fire alarm in here. We'll shut this whole operation down.
Listen, keep drinking your special tea that I made you. Okay?
I don't know about this. It's got a weird flavor, dude. Is this what the earth tastes like?
This is what the earth tastes. Do you drink tea, or is that something that you don't drink?
Mm-mm.
Well, now that it's cold, it's probably no good. It was better when it was warm.
I drink a lot of water. That's like my one good healthy habit. I don't have many, but that's one of them. I drink a lot of water.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, I don't drink any soda. I've had soda maybe 5 times in my whole life.
Really?
Like I can count it on one hand for sure.
Interesting.
I don't like any soda. I don't like anything carbonated except for beer.
Oh, that's the problem.
Yeah, I don't drink anything carbonated. So Sprite, get out of my face. Coke, get out of my face. Even yesterday, my wife, she ordered a icy from the machines, the
Those are
Coca-Cola
yes,
ices. Get out of
yes.
my face.
What?
Get out of my face,
Oh,
dude.
you've just lost
Don't
so
put
many.
carbonation in my ices, dude.
Skinner's opinion does not reflect that of SSG or of
We
myself.
gotta bring the batter back out.
Don't listen,
Our
yeah.
opinions do not reflect the opinions of us. We're really gonna have to make that for whenever we start getting into our topics here. But anyways, Mark will start us off this time around, and he does start us off with a Robin Hood, and Zach passes it right back with a Chernobog's follower. So both players being able to play their turn one, and Mark's just gonna try to do what he did last game, except not get locked out by Pete.
Yeah, I mean,
Mark was off to a great start last game. I don't feel like he did anything,
I would agree.
out of nothing wrong. I mean, he had a really good hand, a good curve, but those 5 turns that Zach was just able to lock him out of a whole new world just really, really set the bar back.
Yeah, I mean, and this opening sequence that Mark is following right now, I mean, this led to some very strong play patterns. This allowed Mark to use that troubadour that was found by the aerial to Zeus away the board. Put Zach in a very bad spot. So I think I agree with you. This opening was a solid opening. We lost the plot somewhere in the middle, and let me. It wasn't even Mark's fault. Zach won the Pete war. That's what it boiled down to. Zach had the Petes and had the ability to repeat, and three-peat over the course of this game. And essentially, that was the story of this game is Pete. That was the story of this game.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how this matchup goes, right? That's definitely going to be the most impactful card, I think, for both players, right? I mean, both players here, although Zach's playing different colors, very similar strategies, right? We're trying to play these really good steal threats, play some good songs, and eventually just take over the game with the songs and being able to quest out. Although we are playing two different. Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Mark is like, you know what? I'm not going to play games with you, Zach Bivens. We're going to get that whole new world out right now.
Yep. He's just saying, okay, I'm going to get rid of all your cards and let's start fresh here.
Which is not, I mean, if you think about it, Zach mulliganed for his hand. Zach said, these are the cards I want. These are the cards I don't want. And what Mark is saying is, well, since you like those cards so much, Zach, I'm going to take them away from you.
Early wheels feel terrible for you, if you're getting wheeled. I know when we used to play a lot of, queen shift into wheel right away, those were the most frustrating games because, like you said, you just mulligan, you try to pinpoint your hand. Mulligan is such an important part of this game.
Yeah.
And Whole New World just says to hell with it. Just we're just resetting at random,
it's actually worse than that because what you've done is you've taken those things out of your deck.
Yep.
It's actually worse.
Yep. It's tough. Yeah. So, great play by Mark. Obviously, it's always a gamble as to what cards you're going to be giving your opponent and as to what cards you're going to be getting back in return. But yeah, he's with the dominant position here, Robin Hood in play, Singer 4 in play as well. I think it's a really good move for Mark here to just go ahead and reset. And Zach's got to figure it out now with his new hand.
Yeah, and hopefully it's not too bad. Now, what I will say about Zach's deck, just about Amethyst Steel in general, the deck generally runs very low to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So Zach can have playable things. Will they be the things he needs to target Mark to deal with the problem specifically? That's a different question.
Sure.
But will Zach have things to play? Absolutely. Zach will have 3 drops and 4 drops and plenty of 2. Zach's not going to have a problem putting things down. Their effectiveness in this matchup, that's the question.
Absolutely. And like we mentioned earlier, a lot on the line here, guys. If you're just joining for some reason and you haven't been with us all day, welcome in. We are in round number 7 of our $10,000 tournament here at Margate, Florida, Southside Gaming. And if you haven't already hit that follow, be sure to follow Southside Gaming. We do a lot of events like this, so follow them on socials. It's always an amazing event here. We have Reign of Jafar release event on May the 31st. So that'll be our next big event down here at SSG. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be an amazing event, and those events always tend to set the precedent for the meta, considering that it's the first day the set's legal, and that's where Diggy Diggy Hole was born here at Brendan DeCandio. Shout out to DeCandio who brought that deck here, and it's been living here ever since. Well, not here ever since, but it's been living in the world ever since. Yeah. So definitely not a tournament you're going to want to miss. So May 31st, clear your calendars out. And thanks so much for you guys hanging out with us today. We really appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And this is our last round of Swiss before we cut to top 8, guys. So this is a big one here.
Yeah. And if you're in town, if you're nearby, please come by and see us. We've got Blossom Pods. We're doing Win-A-Boxes, Win Enchanteds, all the above. Yep. We'd love to see you come in.
And good luck to all you guys playing your set champs either this weekend or the coming weekends. Tell me what deck you're going to be playing. Are you going to be picking up Mikey's Blurple Jafar deck?
Blurfar.
Or are you going to be playing something a little more conventional? Let us know. But
Yeah.
no matter what it is, I hope you guys have a great time. And I feel like there's a lot of options out there. So hope you guys have a great set, champs. As Zach's trying to figure it out here. I mean, Mark's really got an overwhelming table. We know how this went last game, though. I mean, Mark had quite the overwhelming board, and then we started bouncing foxes and doing that, and then we can see Zach just cleaning it up, one character at a time. Okay, so now we're back to 3 and 3. A second ago, it was like 1 to 6. Now we got 3 and 3, and little by little, Zach just starts to piece together.
Exactly, yeah, just small percentage increases here and there.
Yep.
It's all about, can I get just a little bit more value than my opponent does out of the ink that I have available to me?
For sure. Yeah, a big part of this this game plan is just being able to see the board and figuring out every turn, like, okay, how do I kill everything? How do I take everything away from the board? And Zach, just a master of being able to figure that out. That's really important.
Absolutely. And we see Mark just thinking through. Mark's trying to keep, and look at that. It looks like Mark is entered into the Pete zone here with a Pete of his own.
That's great. Great heads up play from Mark, as Mark quested for quite a lot. 2, 4, 6, 8. That will put him up to 16.
It does. Yeah, it does put him up to 16. This is basically, this is a Zach must answer this question or lose this game. Essentially, we're in a very, we see an Elsa to tap the Pete. The question is, with a Pete on table, can Zach actually solve anything?
Yeah, we take out a Smee.
Yeah, so Smee's gone.
That's a good way to start.
We still need to get rid of a bunch.
We take out that. We take maybe the Robin Hood. Yeah,
it's got to be the Robin Hood. Because we're still looking at
3 more lore.
3 lore. Yeah,
19.
Yeah, it had to be the Robin Hood. So we're going to 19.
The Smee will fall apart here at the end of this turn.
It says
however, another Pete.
Says you if they don't have a Rapunzel.
Yep. Zach already knows. He's like, all right, Pete. I know what that means.
Yep.
As we go to a game, sorry, I was clearing my throat. You caught me with you caught me doing some weird stuff. So we got don't look at me, bro. So we got game 3 coming up, and we got Zach on the play here. Which is it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful is what it is. All right, guys. Everybody simmer down. All right. So what is Zach looking for this game? Get that face out, bro. What is Zach looking for here if he's on the play here now?
The answer is Pete. It's just Pete, repeat, and Pete.
Pete and songs,
yeah.
Right? Pete's, Foxes, base
Pete
bounce Pete.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh yeah, so we're just looking for a bunch of Pete's here. That's really the goal here. I think they're both looking for the same thing, So we've got Mark, who's just, I mean, we're 1-1 right now. We are in the final game of the final game of this match, which is literally the final game of Swiss. And ultimately, what we're doing here is just trying to piece together. This is the winning, and this is a big deal. All right. And I want to do a shout out to those in the chat who are actually giving us the links to their decks. We love to see it. So please, we want everybody to win their set champs. And if you're at set champs right now and you're watching this, good on you.
Let me take a peek. Let me take a peek here. Somebody put their set champs. I'm playing this. All right, Jay Bush. Let me take a look, bro. Let me give you my.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do a quick deck review.
If this link would open.
Yeah, let's see. Hopefully it's not a Rickroll. Like that's important too.
Hopefully I'm not downloading a virus.
Sorry, SSG. We apologize if we're downloading viruses.
Somebody sent me something diabolical. Then
okay, no, it's actually a dream.
Oh, okay. Pop cycle hands. Pop cycle hands. Okay. Ooh, we got a little Nick Wild action going on.
So spice percentage is definitely high.
We love it. Jay Bush. Okay. He's got dime in here. He got swords in here.
Oh, so see, I told you, swords is real. Jay Bush, confirm, please. Swords real.
He's playing Prepare Your Bot, dude. Get botted.
Yeah, get botted. We're being asked by Katie and the keeper of Poglet and the keeper of Lore if it's a top 8 or top 16.
It is a cut to top 8, Katie.
Yep, top 8.
Thank you for asking. Yeah, it is a top 8. And Jay Bush, best of luck. I really like this list. How's Nick Wild been performing for you? Pretty good?
Yeah, seriously, let us know. We're curious how much testing you've had.
That is very cool. I love to see it. All right. Oh, somebody else posted it. I'll get to it. Oh, actually, we still got a little time here. We're still mulliganing here, guys. Let's take a look. Look at Danny 5442.
Let's do it.
Sorry, I can't put them on the stream for you guys to see, but But let's double check.
You know what? We should do like a podcast where we have people send us deck lists and we just do live reviews. That'd be pretty sick.
No, I think that's a terrible idea.
Terrible. Don't do it. It's a trap.
I'm just kidding.
Ready, set, bolt.
What is this card? Is this a hey? I need to zoom in on this.
Yeah. Oh, here.
Give me the big mode. Why is this deck so small?
Yeah. Just hit view.
View.
And then there you
that's
go.
the one. That's the one.
It's bolt. We love bolt. We love bolt. We love a good pup.
Oh,
good
because
dog.
he shift bolt. Okay. He's playing okay. So yeah, you ready him with Sven, you gain a bunch of lore. Okay, I like it. Try everything. So he's playing like a strategy where you just want to untap or ready bolt and just gain a bunch of lore. I like it.
Yeah, and anybody who's playing a Shakira song for an action is always gonna have my heart.
For sure. And bolt actually gets rid of illusions as well. But let's get right back into the game here. Awesome deck. Thank you guys for sending deck lists over while we were hanging out here. It's really cool. And I hope you guys have an awesome set, champs. And you know who is also having an awesome set, champs, right now is Mr. Zach, as he starts off with a Diablo into a Calhoun.
Yeesh.
And Calhoun is quite problematic here for Mark because you just can't storm him. It's kind of awkward. You have to wait till you play another character next turn, and then you could potentially deal with it.
That would be true, but here's the trick, though. So the trick is Mark next turn can get a third character down, sing Strength of a Raging Fire. That's three damage. That's enough to get rid of that Calhoun.
That's what I just said. Yeah,
I wasn't paying attention to you. I'm listening to me. We're not listening to you. We're listening to me right now.
I might have said Strength of a Raging Fire instead of Storm Rage on, or I don't know what I said, but I definitely meant to say what you just said.
I'll take it. So
maybe you weren't just listening, or maybe I
need
it
more of my tea. That's the problem.
Guys, it's starting to get to the later days. You know how these rounds start to go, guys.
What is life?
The quality of commentary starts to plummet.
I feel like that's the opposite. I feel like it gets better.
Yeah, you're right. It probably does.
I mean, we got like so many snippable moments. Like, I hate to break it to you, like the memes that happen after like round 6 are way better than the memes that are before round 6.
Who knows? Maybe in top 8 I'll even try an egg. Who knows?
Oh, let's do this.
We'll see. I might throw up after.
We got to do bets for eggs. Like we got to bet on people's matches, and winners and losers eat eggs.
The fact that you're using eggs as a point of like torture tells me that those eggs are not good.
I love them.
Like you would never say, "Oh, loser eats a Snickers." Like Snickers are delicious. Like loser eats an egg makes me concerned because that means that there's something bad about what's happening here.
Oh, absolutely not. It's a great thing. And we see okay, so we're choosing to deal with the Cobra problem. We have an infestation of reptiles.
Yep,
Cobra. We said we don't want no more.
Cobra hits the bin, and we will get in there with Smee for 2 lore. And we still have Calhoun, which can choose to eat up this Cinderella if she so chooses. And we will play a rabbit.
Yeah, that's going to certainly create some weird math. That Cinderella is not long for this earth. As Zach is thinking through, okay, what do we do here? What do we do is what Zach's thinking. And boy, oh boy, look at those options in hand. We see songs. We see Elsa. We see a goat in there as well.
Yep.
Just so many things that could be done to solve problems.
Yep. Zach's got a solid 3-card hand here. 3 cards that I think are great. Chooses not to go ahead and take out the Cindy here. Interesting.
Yeah. And well, funny enough, there's another one sitting in Mark's hand. Either way.
Yeah, that is. I'm curious. I mean, maybe if you would have attacked with this Calhoun, then the Smee would have taken it out. But then I don't know. Oh, maybe I guess he was worried about Rapunzel potentially.
Oh yeah, we are. We're kind of there. Leaving these characters sideways. Especially Calhoun with that magic number 3.
That is definitely what it was.
When you've got a Daisy sitting out there, is not the place you want to be at.
I didn't realize we were sitting at a 4 ink. Yeah, that's definitely 100% what he was playing around. He didn't want to go. Daisy could have crashed in there. It was almost like bait. You would attack into the Cinderella. Daisy attacks into Calhoun, and then Rapunzel draws 3 cards. Instead, Rapunzel had to settle for 1 card off the Smee, which is, still good, but not as good as 3 cards.
Yeah.
But we do see Lilo and Rapunzel in Mark's hands, so he's got more where that came from. And Zach, both players rather here with limited cards in hand. We're both kind of dwindling down. Zach does have a couple ways to draw cards here off the Diablo and the Rabbit, but Mark's pretty much only down to Rapunzel, so he's going to have to find a way to stack some damage here. Zach's in a tough spot because he knows 3 is the magic number. If you leave a 3 exposed, that Daisy's coming in for a hug and Rapunzel's coming right after.
Yeah, and we see Zeus. So choosing to use that rabbit is essentially Zach telling us, well, maybe you'll draw 2, but you're not. Ideally, you don't draw 3.
Right. I don't hate attacking into Smee here because you would also You would trade your Calhoun, but at least you wouldn't leave it alive. Okay, so he chooses instead to do that. See, it's a great move.
It's tough. Yeah,
It's a
tough
great
decision.
move, but he doesn't know there's a Rapunzel coming.
I mean, the problem is like how long can you wait for it? You know, like Mark is accruing a large board state. At some point, you kind of have to say like, well, you know what? Then draw 3.
Right, but again, if he would have used the Calhoun to attack into Smee, Calhoun falls. Right, she goes away, and then like Zach, he's like, oh crap.
Yeah.
We could have used the Elsa to kill the Cindy. The same thing we did. Essentially, we could have done the same thing. We would have lost Calhoun, but we would have prevented 3 cards right now. Is essentially what it would have been. But it still would have been 2 cards either way because he would have attacked the rabbit. So
exactly.
I guess he's just like, you know what? I'll keep an extra guy.
Exactly. We're talking about a difference of 1 at this point. So
Yeah.
why not maximize that turn?
For sure.
You know. So
Yeah.
so I see it.
Just like all these micro things you have to think about, right? Like it's just. Yeah, it's just a lot of brain power. It's not just turning things sideways and attacking into stuff. Obviously, you have to really consider. Obviously, Zach does not want to give 3 cards up, but you got to do what you got to do.
I mean, but to your point, if you're going to give up 2,
might as well give up the
third.
Yeah,
we'll forget it. You get 3, but I'll get some extra lore.
Yeah, for sure. But it's a tight race here as 5-4, and Zach and Mark both locked in here and trying to focus and see what is their best way to end this game. We do have a way to bounce this rabbit in play, which is nice. Bouncing a rabbit always equals a good amount of cards. But what else are we doing with our turn here? So are we just questing? Yeah, I think, okay. Yeah, we're double attacking. I like it. So we're getting rid of the Troubadour, and then we're going to bounce. Yep, attacking a Daisy. I like all this.
Yeah, getting more cards, more options.
Yep. All this. This all reminds me of my green-purple interactions. We've both been playing green-purple a lot.
Yes.
A lot of bouncing stuff with Fox, attacking, bounce this. Okay, Hadouken. Hit that.
Ooh, look at this board state. How the tables turn, or how the turntables.
With 2 cards in hand, Zach suddenly just finds a way to disassemble the whole table. It's really impressive.
Yeah,
but Mark's got a loaded hand here, so.
Oh no. That was a Rapunzel on Rapunzel.
Yeah.
Rapunzel attacked the Fox to play a Rapunzel to heal 3 to draw 3.
When you conga line the Rapunzels, it can be quite troublesome.
It absolutely can.
Because now Mark doesn't have a lot of reason to wheel, right? He has cards in hand, Zach doesn't. So Zach can't rely on a whole new world here to just refill. Mark's going to do his best to just make this a one-sided card draws. And we've had 3 Rapunzels in play this game, and that's definitely not fun. But we will draw a card off the rabbit here. Ooh, okay, not terrible. Draws us a crab. Crab's always good. Can crab into Calhoun and take out this Rapunzel. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Zach sees it. That
is a beefy Calhoun, or as JDZ calls it, a Calgoon.
Calgoon.
The goon is out.
The gooner. And unfortunately, if somehow Mark is drawn into the 4th Rapunzel, this is going to equal 3 more cards.
Which I think I saw that. I think that's exactly what I saw in hand.
Oh my gosh.
But here's the thing.
He's drawing cards, but Zach's questing.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the cards in hand now is potential power and potential lore later. Zach is actively in the throes of figuring out how we get into 20 right here in this moment.
Sure.
And so we're seeing Mark using what's available. So we see that Lawrence comes down, still got a couple more ink. It looks that, yes, we still got a little bit more ink that we can utilize. And we're choosing, 3
Pete?
more, which brings out Pete. So we're saying, hey, actions will not be happening next turn. So
for sure,
figure it out.
Yep. And solid turn there for Mark. He will even clean up a Diablo, which will give Zach an extra card here. And what is the card? It is a Chernobog's follower, and he draws a Strength of a Raging Fire, which will do 3 damage as it stands. He could play a character first for potential 4 damage, which would take out a Smee. Not a Smee, Lawrence. But we could also double attack here into Rapunzel, or we could so many options. You could attack the Robin Hood, and then Crab. You could do. There's a lot of stuff.
There's a few options.
There's a few different options. Yeah, he's going to choose to just go ahead and take out the Robin Hood.
double attacking Rapunzel.
Bunny should have 2 damage, right? Or is she only dealing 1? Wait, Bunny should have 2 damage.
Is that a 1 or a 2?
It's a 1. Yeah, Bunny should have. I think he's gonna bounce it, but anybody on the stream? I believe Bunny should have. Bunny traded into Robin Hood. Bunny should have 2 damage. Yeah, I think they just noticed it. Bunny should have 2 damage. Yep. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Good looking out. Good looking out. We caught that one.
That was us, guys. We did that. Mission accomplished.
We did it, guys, for once. All right. So grab your swords. I don't know that it would have made a huge difference there because the bunny would have died either way or banished either way. But just, if we can prevent it, why not? So, all right. So we'll do that. So that'll take it out. Okay. So suddenly, Mark in the driver's seat here.
Yeah.
Yet again.
Yeah. And the main driver of that bus is named Pete, games referee. That's why we're able to ride that train, because Pete prevents a lot of craziness that happens from actions being able to get thrown down here. Now, there is no Pete here. Therefore, things can get crazy. Just like that.
Yep. Take 3 to take care of the Lawrence. And now there's only a Pete. But Mark just has a lot of cards at hand still. Well, I guess he's got not that many. 4. Yeah, considering all the Rapunzels he played, I thought he had more.
And we do see, just putting those characters down. That's a Gaston. That is an escape artist, Lilo, just coming on down here, joining the party. We see
Zach just has
songs,
wasted bounce stuff. Gosh,
yeah,
he's gonna get to play this now.
Oh yeah, good. Zach needed this. Zach needs more options. Zach has not had the benefit of a whole new world this turn, and so having to make do with that, which is fine because Zach is playing things like Rabbit. Zach is bouncing that Rabbit. And we're just going to keep on bouncing.
Can you believe that people have disrespected Rabbit this whole set playing Genie? I mean, Genie's a great card, but my God, is Rabbit an insane card?
You cannot. Yeah, it's hard to argue. God. It's hard to argue the value when you see this line of play.
Like one Genie there would have done what? Not much, but
yeah,
Genie, but Rabbit, Snake. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. And look at that. Look, we've got more cards in hand now than the person who drew 6, by the way, off of Rapunzel's.
Absolutely. Great point. Yep. All of a sudden, Zach in the driver's seat. But we do see a whole new world in Mark's hand. So pretty soon, both players may have 7 new ones.
Yeah, and Mark is being not just tempted. It almost feels as though he's being forced to play that whole new world because Zach is just going out of control just with the Rabbit bounce situation.
Yeah, we still have that Robin Hood in play also that can sing. Zach's he's not playing around a whole new world here. He's hoping that he just doesn't have it. But yeah, that Robin Hood is definitely going to warm up those vocal cords for this next one.
And I'm willing to bet you want to take a wild guess which card Zach's looking for?
I would guess it starts with a P and ends with eat.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
If I had to guess.
How many more of these little guys are we going to see?
All right. So now, how do we want to play this turn out?
I mean, how do we want it to play out, or how will it play out? These are great questions.
Yep, that's a good one.
We see, so we see a song come down, strength, or rather, let the storm rage on.
Instead of the whole new world, how about we just gain 3? How about we just draw 3 on our own? 4 Rapunzels, Gabe. 4 Rapunzels.
That is 9 cards drawn from Rapunzel this game.
Quad Rapunzels.
9 cards drawn.
That's a toughie. That's a tough one. I mean, wow.
Double drop in characters, having the ink to do it with. That is a rough spot for Zach. That was a fantastic turn for Mark. Got every piece of the puzzle that was needed. Zach at this point is here trying to just sing, and then along came Zeus, dealing with Rapunzel. And yeah, we're just gonna keep bouncing for answers. We're gonna keep bouncing for answers as we see just and it comes back down. So up and down and up and down. We see this Rabbit just move.
There's the Pete that we've been looking for, but not the opportune time right now. We just, I guess we could still Pete, right? We have enough ink.
I mean, we have enough ink. Yes. I mean, is it going to solve problems? Maybe. It might not be a bad time to play it anyway. I mean, you might just have to.
Or do we just smee here and then hope that we can hang on to the board long enough? I mean, man, Mark still has that whole new world. Yeah, so we're gonna have to just Pete it up here, and Yeah, Zach's just hoping that Mark. I mean, he's got no more Rapunzels, right? So
That's correct. Yeah. So we are looking at Mark's board here. Mark has Robin Hood, Smee, Cindy, and Pete. I mean, there's all just three of the four fantastic singers of just about anything that Mark would want to deal with. We know that Zach is trying to close this gap, trying to get over the bridge. Mark questing almost immediately with the three of the four characters, deciding what he wants to do with that Cinderella, which Cindy's in a great position right now to potentially get rid of one character by singing a song and putting Zach in the seat that he needs to answer the problem.
Yep.
Oh wait, but to the point. Sorry, can't use Cindy. My apologies, because Cindy is under the effect of the game's referee.
Yes,
so
he is.
we do have a Pete in play. So
absolutely. So everything you said is irrelevant.
100%. Well, that's
like usual.
just as usual. Yeah, 100%.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're not wrong.
So we got 2 minutes left. 2-minute warning here. As I mean, we're approaching the end of the game here. I don't foresee it going, longer than turns if we need to go to turns. But these next couple turns are going to be very important. This is pretty much going to be pretty much the turn that plays out here. Okay, clearing up some damage. I can't even see what the card is.
That's a Pete.
It is a Pete.
I'm sorry, not a Pete. Smee.
It is a Smee. Okay, so Smee has the damage on him. Zach's doing some math in his head. Whenever you do the finger thing, that always means like, okay, I'm counting damage here. Count 1, 2, 3, 5, 5. Carry the 1.
Yeah, interesting story about Zach. What he'll do is he'll actually take off his shoes and his socks and use his toes if he needs to.
Oh, that's cool. I've never seen that in action.
Yeah, he's done it to me a few times. It's kind of weird.
He's done it to me a few times. Oh goodness. All right, Zach's in the tank right now. He is like, all right, how do I get out of this predicament here? Mark is at 17. Gosh, this is a tough one. I'm just in as much concentration as Zach is here. I'm just trying to see what could it be.
I mean, there's no question about it. Zach is in the tank, thinking about what these cards can translate for him. I mean, we're at the end phase of this game. We are one turn, maybe 2 turns away from the end of this thing. We see the timer is ticking down very slowly. We're at 40.
He drew another P.
Yeah, we're approaching the 45-second mark left in this round. Not that they're going to need all 5 turns. Neither player will need all 5 turns. There will be a winner at the end of this game.
Oh, come on,
but it'll be after the timer hits 0.
Okay. So, right. So we have the Fox, the Pete. Can we play? Oh gosh.
Yeah. Notice Zach just kind of like walking through the play lines that are available. I mean, I think they both understand and they can see the time next to them.
They know this is the end.
Yeah.
I always tell but when we get like to this point to my opponent, I always tell them, don't worry, the game will end in the next 5 turns. So don't even stress it.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will start looking at you weird when it gets to this close to the turns. It's like, oh, the timer's coming. It's like, all right, this game's about to be over.
Yeah,
so.
You've got to. You're going to beat me in a turn or 2, bro. Yeah, let me at least pretend like I know what I'm doing.
The game's over in just a couple turns. So, perfect. Okay, so we got one less thing to worry about. Okay, but then we still have 3 lore in play, Zach. What are we doing next?
We see a Pete.
Do we just lose here?
We see a Smee.
That's 3 lore, Zach, unless you know something I don't. That's 3 lore.
Yeah.
Oh, Zach knew. I thought Zach maybe missed it or something.
No. I think Zach was going to make him turn those cards sideways.
Yeah, Zach frustrated clearly, but that's a tough break. As Mark from 4 and 2 does manage to go ahead and win. Zach gets down paired.
Yes,
and drops it to Mark, and that's it's unfortunate to see. That's a rough beat. What are you touching?
The audience. I want them to know I love them, that I care about them. Hey,
let's
friends.
check in with the audience. Let's see what they have to say about this.
What's going on, friends?
Yeah, Sing Zeus the Rabbit was the play. He needed to Zeus the Cindy.
Yeah, that was rough going.
He miscounted.
Yeah,
that was a series of major misplays. It happens. Yeah, misplay. Don't understand. Yeah, it was. He had to take out the Robin Hood. Yeah. I'm reading everything here. It was so close. Yeah, misplay. Everybody's saying misplay. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, and so as we see, that puts Zach at a 4-2-1 situation. Does that knock Zach out of this event?
Possibly.
It can. It certainly can. We'll know more once everybody's been submitted. And so yeah. So if you'll do you want to go out there? They're looking to do some
You
interviews.
got a whiff of the tea, the tea that we were having.
Yeah.
Here.
Wait, who said that? Who said that?
Who said that? Who said that?
I believe you pronounced that Kashik.
Kashik?
Yeah, let's say Kashik.
JD.
Yo, oh man, dude. Hey, oh man.
Don't catch you slipping like they caught me slipping.
Hey, they caught me slipping in public, man, and they got me. But I thought, hey, listen, I still thought that game was great. And everyone's being hard on Zach about the last sequence of that turn. Can we just talk about getting Rapunzel for 12 real quick?
Dude.
Or is that something that we just
that 4 Rapunzels.
Four full value Rapunzels, and to make a game out of that, I thought was incredible, man. That last sequence, I still think there was some lines of plays in there that you could have had to potentially pull that thing back, and maybe if you clear that Robin Hood, clear that, and take out a few more lore, you probably can put yourself in a position to win that game, which is absolutely incredible. I was cheering for Zach all the way through and through.
I know Zach. I know he took his time on that turn, but I mean, he just needed to take more time. I mean, we're already going to turns. Take the time you need. Crank out the math. I know he was like digging in his head there, but I just think we needed to take a couple more minutes there. And I know it feels bad because you're watching him sit there, but the game wasn't going to go past 5 turns anyway, right? So just take the time you need, count it out, figure it out. It's unfortunate to see that. I mean, that can happen to anybody. There's fatigue involved. There's being on camera involved. There's, a million other things. It's always easy to see when you're watching a game as opposed to playing the game.
And honestly, that kind of gives a player like me some hope. If I can see a player like Zach experience the same issues that I experienced with fatigue and this is a long day. Okay, we're talking 8 hours, 9 hours of grindy Lorcana all day long.
Yeah, that's rough.
You're getting that went to a grindy game 3 into time, into Steel Song. Your opponent, managing that tilt. If my opponent hits a full value opponent on me once, I'm already kind of tilting.
Brother.
Twice.
When he hit the 4th one. I was
the 4th one, I'm like, oh man, just get me out of here, dude. But
it's over.
He kept playing.
But he still had it. He still had a shot at the end there. I mean, it's remains to be seen whether or not he would have won or not. But yeah, it's crazy that he was even in that game after 4 Rapunzels. So
I'm certain he's going to run this tape back and analyze what went wrong and maybe find a better line of play there. And I think that's going to be good preparation for him going into the Disney Lorcana World Championship happening this summer. So hopefully he's going to learn from that, make some mistakes, get back on the saddle. I know I did an interview with Zach Bivens as well. He came by my channel and we talked about it. And he said he's been on a hiatus, been very busy in life, hasn't been able to put those quality reps in. So now you got to crack that smelling salt, wake up call. You got to get back into the dojo and lock in and get ready for that tournament, because this is just a precursor to what you're going to see when you get there.
For sure. And speaking of interviews, I believe we have one available, which going to send it on over to Gabe, who's out there. I believe we're going to be speaking with Mark. I don't know if we'll have time to speak with Zach as well, but there's Gabe.
This is pretty good. We're live. We're live as I'm here rubbing my head. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to Southside Gaming. Mark, congratulations, buddy. That was one heck of a match. We got to see you versus Zach Bivens. First of all, congratulations on the game.
Thank you.
And on the match, I guess, right? I guess the games and match. Also, you've been here a few times, so thanks for making it out again. The question I've been asking everybody, first of all, is talk to me about your deck choice, especially considering what you were playing before.
Sure.
Talk to me about your deck choice and what is your thesis? Like, why was Amber Steel the way to go for this event?
Yeah. Well, I was really torn between a few decks. I was going to run most likely Emerald Steel, but honestly, the determining factor was, one, I'm not a big fan of the mirror match and that, and then 2 is it just hadn't been running very well for me lately. And in my Steel Stongs testing, it's just been running really well, and I was like, I'm feeling comfortable with it. Vibes are good, and confidence goes a long way to making sure that you're playing well.
I don't care what anybody says. I feel like vibes is easily 60 to 70% of it.
100%.
It's got to be vibes for sure. So those were some hard fought matches.
Very.
So talk to me about some of the back and forth that happened there. Talk to me about some of the standout moments of that game that you think were really pivotal for you. Like, where did you win those games? And where did you win that match? And what was it that did it for you?
Yeah, I think the main turning point was me trying to set up lines that forced him to make a 3 strength character available, because then I can get the Rapunzel value and trade. Bivens is an amazing player, so he knows exactly what I'm trying to do, and unless I can do everything perfect, he's not gonna fall for it. And there were multiple times where I was hoping he'd like quest and just make something available, but I had to go and be the aggressive person and say, all right, I'm gonna give up something here, and you're gonna have to trade your Calhoun in, and then we're gonna do the Rapunzel and hopefully just outvalue.
Yeah. There was a moment there where he needed to do something with a 2-attack character, and when he realized that, he's like, well, like the vibe I got was, I'm gonna give this guy 2. Why not 3? And just and at that point, kind of turn things sideways. One of your games, you were able to like Rapunzel chain pretty severely.
That was.
We're talking about 9
for sure
cards.
the turning point.
Yeah, that was such a difference maker for you.
But it was still a close game because his Calhouns kept getting lore and trading well into everything. So it was, I'm like, I just have to get enough value to turn the corner, and luckily I was able to, and that made the difference.
Yeah. Now, so I'll say that when I did a poll of other players that were not involved in this event, so I specifically called out non-players, because obviously if I ask a player which deck is going to win, they're going to tell me their deck, obviously. So when I did polls of people that were not in the event, the majority of those people felt that Steel Song was going to be the most represented deck in the field. Was that your impression as well?
I thought it would most likely be Ruby Amethyst and Steel Song, and then just under that Emerald Steel, where my guess is, mainly just because I know Steel Song is so popular here in general with like Wochuk and other people that bring it on a regular basis. And it's just really well positioned into a lot of the decks that are currently available. It just seemed like a good choice. So I don't know.
Funny enough, it was Emerald Steel that ended up being the one that's the most represented.
Yeah,
and we're starting to see that. It's surprising. Zan,
Zan and his
his friends are playing a big chunk of it. So so I wanted to thank you. I know we're getting ready to figure out what Top Cut looks like. Part of that, and so we're kind of giving them a little bit of how the sausage is made on the camera. Part of that is there's like deck checks that are involved. So Mark is here right now, and Mark is trying to get in the zone. So Mark, thank you for while you're trying to get in the zone and get ready.
I'm not even gonna make Top Cut.
Exactly. That's my point I'm trying to make. Like, you're trying to like figure that stuff out.
I was right on the bubble.
So while you're figuring that out, while you get yourself situated, and while you get a drink and all that stuff you got to do, thank you again for allowing us and allowing me the honor of casting your games and
thank you
and
so much
commentating on them.
for having great tournaments. I love it here, and I really appreciate the hospitality. Everybody's just been awesome. So
thank you, Mark.
I'll be here again and again if you guys keep hosting.
God willing, I'll be here too.
Sounds good.
Mark, great games.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of this event, and hopefully we'll